Welcome back to episode number 5 of the Skye and Skye podcast. My name is Skye Riley, and I am joined with Skye McMillan. Skye, how are you doing?
I'm doing really good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, and we have such a fun episode prepared for you guys. We are joined with the Mountain West Team Conference Champion, Samuel Field. Sam, how you doing?
I'm well, thank you. What's going on, guys?
Nah, it's good, and we appreciate you for coming on. And let's get straight into it. What's your favorite ice cream?
I like Ben and Jerry's. It's like pretty
Oh.
gluttonous, but I don't mind the what is it? It's like the half baked. It's just got everything in it, like brownie, cookie. Just a lot.
yeah.
Yeah.
Ben
I
and-
haven't
How about
tried
you?
that one
What
before.
about you
Ben and
guys?
Look, I had Ben and Jerry's for the first time a couple weeks ago in my life.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
Good on you.
went to Smith's. I got the cookie dough one,
Yeah.
but I was
Pretty
pretty
fire.
I was pretty amazed.
Yeah.
Skye, what about you? What's your favorite ice cream?
Ooh, I am a sucker for coffee ice cream.
Coffee?
Yes. I just don't think you could go wrong with coffee ice cream, or mint chocolate chip are my favorite top 2 ice cream.
I might have to taste coffee ice cream.
I think you should. It's pretty good, especially if you get like the nuts in there, like
Okay.
almonds or
Yeah.
like, I don't know, it just tastes so good.
Okay. I might have to find me some coffee ice cream. I think for myself though, I probably have to go. There's this Baskin Robbins flavor, and it's called Mom's Making Cookies, and oh my goodness, it has cookie dough. It's got caramel. I think it's vanilla. I'm not even sure. It's brown sugar. Oh my goodness, man! Like during freshman year, when during the summer they were having it and it's seasonal. So I would go and I'd have to get like, and this is gonna make me sound so fat, but I don't care. I would have to go and I'd have to get pints, and then I would take them and I put them in my freezer in my room because they were only there for the month. So I'm like, I'm gonna need this year round. I need this year round. So I would take the ice cream and freeze it and then have it for the rest of
Sometimes
the
you
year.
gotta do what you gotta do.
You know-
if you gotta stock up, you gotta do that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it is what it is. You only live once,
Yeah.
you know, and you need some dang ice cream. Like,
Exactly.
Sam, we can hear the accent,
Yeah.
and I'm sure the audience can hear the accent. Where are you from, and how did you get into cross country?
So I'm from Tasmania, Australia, which is right at the bottom of Australia, little island down by itself. And I only got into cross country in college. I strategically avoided cross country as much as I could. In high school, don't get me wrong, I ran a few races for school. It's a bit of a different system there, so I'd run the occasional cross country race. But no, I avoided cross country pretty heavily. I liked the track. That's kind of where I was. But yeah, finally starting to enjoy cross country.
Did you try any other sports before that, or
Yeah, so to help avoid cross country, I'd play Aussie rules football.
Okay.
And tennis as well. Yeah.
by Aussie rules football you mean like rugby or
It's similar to rugby.
Okay.
It's its own thing. Kind of like, I don't know if you've ever seen Gaelic football. Like it's like rugby and soccer, kind of all in one.
I do have a question since you're from Australia. Have you seen any kangaroos there?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. All different types. So
Really?
yeah.
How common is it to see kangaroos? Like,
They're as common
in-
as deer. I have them in my backyard.
whoa.
But like not the big ones. The big
Oh.
ones, Tasmania where I'm from, we only have like little ones.
Mhm.
Like there's different types of kangaroos, and we call them, the ones we have in Tassie are predominantly wallabies, but we do have some kangaroo as well. And but I've seen some real big ones on the mainland, like massive ones taller than Skye. Like they're real big.
I seen a video on Twitter the other day of a kangaroo holding somebody's dog in the
Yeah.
water and the man had to go up and like box the kangaroo like real life.
No, I
get his
have
dog
not
back.
seen that.
Yes.
Yeah, they're
yes.
scary. They're actually not even like, they're kind of just scary.
Yeah.
Those big ones. I stay away from them.
Look like a big old like The Rock. You
Yeah.
know, like
Yeah,
an
yeah.
Australian The Rock.
Yeah. There you go, right there. So explain to me how cross country works. I know it's long distance running, but are there different types of distances?
Yeah, yeah. So regular season, what we've been running, we raced 2 regular season races, and they were both 8K, and conference this last weekend was also an 8K. And then we're about to go into regionals, which is 10K, and then nationals, unfortunately, 11 days later is another 10K, which is gonna be pretty brutal.
How do you prepare for that?
Lots of training sessions much longer than the distance we race. So, we're doing, like, 9-mile workouts and, a lot of mileage within the week and, uh, yeah, and, just it's a lot of running.
How
Awesome.
how do you train your mind? Because like the running aspect, that obviously your body adjusts and it takes time, but mentally, if you have to say, okay, I'm running mile 6 of mile, or mile 10, like how do you mentally prepare for such long races?
Yeah, well, the way I'm still figuring it out, to be honest, in cross country, but a lot of it is trying not to think at all. You just need to be relaxed and kind of just focusing on process goals like breathing and being okay physically, like as I said, relaxing and but but when things get hard, when obviously you deal with it all the time in your sports, you know what when things get hard, when you get tired, you need to remember your goals and what matters and that kind of gets you through to do what you need to do.
And also, I wanted to say congrats on winning conference. That's awesome. That's really awesome.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank
Yeah.
you, Mary. Thank you very much. It was great fun. Cheers.
Yes. Talk to me about your success as a team this year with your coach winning Coach of the Year, Hab Tom winning Athlete of the Year, and Evan winning Freshman of the Year.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it was an awesome weekend. This season we kind of as I was talking about those 2 regular season races, we didn't really execute our game plans at all. But this weekend everything kind of came together and we got the win. It was pretty special. Like so it's obviously coach's first year here and it's my first year here and a lot of other guys are new to the team. So pretty quickly we've become uh, we work well together. We just kind of replicated what we do in training. We're training really well together, and we went out and finally got it right. So what I'd like to say about coach is, he just made that race. It was very obvious what we needed to do. He had a game plan for us, and it was just very easy to follow. Like all of us knew exactly what we had to do. Like the 3 lads in front, Hab, Tom, Evans, and Lucas, they all just went out and 1, 2, 3. They got 1, 2, 3, and and I knew what I had to do. I had to try and beat Air Force and Boise State's 4th and 5th guys. Like it was just very clear what I had to do, and that's coaching right there. And there was communication, really good communication on the course. So that's a very deserving award. Like obvious, it's obvious to say like we couldn't have done it without him. Like it's his planning, it's his coaching and training and um, yeah, we just went out and executed pretty much.
Yeah, I read that you moved up in the back half of the race 7 spots, like, but you're talking right now as if coach told you, before the game or before the race that you have to beat the 4th and 5th runners. Like, how does information get relayed as to like real time as to what happening? Because I don't know if you expected for New Mexico to take 1, 2, and 3, like, but how does that information come to you as you're actually running the
Yeah, it's
race?
a good question because yeah, I think cross country is quite foreign to a lot of people. Like, so on the course, there's live splits, like live timing and live placing.
Mhm.
So the coaches, they're all around the course, like able to look at their phone and look at these splits, and then they can read like when they see us, they can tell us what's going on. So coach, like the boys in front were kind of a little bit far ahead of me. I couldn't really see, but I was being told that they were doing what they were told to do, 1, 2, 3. They were getting that done. So and Johnny Carmen had an awesome race. He was moving between 6th and 8th. So that left me. I had to do my job and close the door and get the points we needed. And so these live splits coming in. With like a mile to go, coach said we needed 2 points to win. We were 2 points behind Air Force, and he said, you need to go get 2 points. So I went and got 7,
Yeah.
um, and felt like a bit of a hero. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's how he did it. That's the communication on the course. He's yelling with me. He's like he probably ran the last mile with me, telling me, you know, what I need to do. And yeah, I'm glad I had enough in the tank to go and do that. But all the credit goes to the boys up the front. They made it easier for me. They did all the heavy lifting. They're amazing. And yeah, as I said, we just executed. We just got it done. We did what we needed to do.
Absolutely. Well, once again, congratulations to you and the success that your team has had. But we want to get back to you a little bit. What was life like growing up in Australia?
I loved it. I miss my friends and my family all the time, and it's definitely different to here, but also similar in the same way. But yeah, I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. But yeah, home's great. Yeah, it's a lovely place, beautiful place, and yeah, miss it for sure.
Do you see yourself moving potentially back there in the future, or would you like to explore the US and go to different states? Like what are your plans for that?
Well, this is my like 4th year over here, so I've seen a lot of the country, and but I think home is where I want to be. When I graduate. And don't get me wrong, I want to spend more time here for sure, and I hope I can have the ability to come back as much as I can because I've got lots of great friends and over here, and yeah, there's lots of great places in this country that I still haven't seen. So, yeah, but for me, I would love to go back home.
In high school, you took home silver in multiple events. What was that experience like?
Yeah, it was good. It was kind of what got me over to the States. Like I had a big goal of coming to college over here, and I had a really solid season before I came over, and that's what allowed me to come to college in the States. So yeah, that was everything. That was just a lot of hard work that got me here.
And I do know that you went to Florida State. What was it like going there at first?
It was different. It was different, but like most most college programs, like it was very easy to settle in with all the help we get. Amazing advisors, coaches, and training staff, and it's no different here. Yeah, it's a very easy system to adjust to, just because with all the amazing help we get. Yeah, for someone so far away from home, it was quickly made a home.
And then coming to New Mexico, what made you want to choose UNM?
Um, just I needed a change in focus. So we're a very middle distance heavy school here, and that's what I do on the track, and that's what I was looking for. And yeah, it was just kind of just needed a change. I'd had a lot of time in Tallahassee, and I was ready to move somewhere else and check out the West Coast. I haven't seen much of the West Coast, so I'm really looking forward to traveling to meets over here and seeing more of the country.
I have to ask you, I'm going to ask the question to everybody, but Sai, why did you pick the University of New Mexico?
Wow. I chose UNM for a couple of reasons. Number one, I think the biggest reason was Coach Christian um reached out, and the situation with all the new coaches coming in, and him, Coach Long, and Coach G gave me a shot to play football, and it was very unique experience because my recruiting experience was I was getting recruited by a lot of the Mountain West schools, and it just so happened that everybody seemed to come to UNM because this is the place that everybody wanted to change and help uplift and put into better spots, and so UNM was just the place for all that. And then secondly, Albuquerque balloons. I want to get in a hot air balloon. So I was like, my mom was researching about Albuquerque because we didn't, know much about it.
Yeah.
And she was like, wow, there's an Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta, Sai. Maybe you can get in a hot air balloon. That's my life mission. And so I'm proud to say on my birthday of this year, I will be getting in a hot air balloon for the first time.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah, and I'm like, you know what? I've been here quite long enough. Like, it's about time for me to make this a reality. So
Yeah.
those are reasons why I came. What about you, Sky?
I actually wanted to be closer to home. I felt like New Mexico was really close to home being from Arizona, that it was
Mhm.
just a quick flight away. Like it
Mhm.
was a quick, like less than an hour flight, I think. I really love the coaching staff. This was actually my first official visit, I want to say my freshman year of high school. So I was kind of like second time's the charm if I come back here. I wanted to try something also different where I haven't been as well. Because I've actually never been to Albuquerque except on that visit. So I wanted to try something a little bit different. And I'm very happy I ended up here.
That's unique. I didn't even get a visit because
You didn't?
my freshman year was COVID. My freshman year was COVID.
Oh,
What was your visit like,
I
Sam?
didn't visit it. I didn't visit
No.
Florida State or New Mexico. Just kind of winged it. Yeah.
Wow.
really?
What was that like? Because I know for me, it wasn't necessarily like everybody's like, oh, you had to experience. Well, I was good with the coaches, like I was cool with what they were selling me and I bought it and it was a great, investment in time. But like what was that process like for you for not to even like coming from Australia to the United States
It was
without visiting?
a lot of research, a lot of yeah, just looking online and looking as many like virtual tours. I think I remember looking at and looking at athletic department websites and but the best thing was just talking to people on the team
Mm,
for both teams. That
mm.
was the best insight to everything, and obviously the coaches. Yeah,
That's really interesting. Like, imagine coming to, I mean, you didn't,
Yeah,
yeah.
no visit.
Wow.
My visit, the weekend of my visit, when I was supposed to come, it got canceled because then the world shut down and everybody was like, "Oh, coronavirus,
Yeah, yeah,
it's real."
yeah.
So that's what happened. Sam, do you prefer outdoor or indoor or cross country?
definitely track. This is pretty fun. Don't get me wrong. This is probably the most enjoyable cross country season I've had. Like, um, the boys are performing really well, and oh yeah, winning conference was a big highlight. But yeah, the track is what I love, and that's what I back myself in, and so I think outdoors the season. That's the one everyone likes. So indoors, great in its own right, but outdoor for sure.
Let me ask because you're a long distance runner or a mid distance runner, and you're running for time on time on time. What is the second win or the runner's high like? Like I don't know. I can't say that I know what that feels like. I honestly can't. Like what is that? What does that feel like?
It maybe it's a bit of delusion. You're just
Yeah.
so tired. You're like nah, but I definitely got it this weekend.
Yeah.
The runner's highs, it comes from like a purpose of something. Like when coach was telling me we need like I it was like a lot of it was on me to win.
Hmm.
I definitely got that second win. Like I was so dead, like a mile to go. I was not enjoying running at all. Like you could have probably somebody else could have said like step off the course, and I'd be like, yeah, all right, like why not? But coach telling me like all these things that we've been preparing for and what it meant to win and his excitement and his energy, like that definitely just brought me back to life. And then all of a sudden I wasn't tired anymore because all
Hmm.
I could think about is winning and doing it for the boys. Like so we could like as I said, the boys up front just I can't waste their time. They just
Yeah.
did exactly what they were told to do. I've got to do that as well. So I woke up and that honestly that last K just felt really good.
How did you guys celebrate?
It was funny. We didn't know if we'd won for like 15 minutes.
Wow.
It was kind of weird. Like because the results weren't official yet,
Yeah.
and the coaches came up to us. They're like, guys, like quiet, like, but I think we've won, but we didn't know, and we weren't gonna like celebrate like
Yeah.
idiots and
Yeah. And
and
then
just look rude
yeah.
and silly, but Yeah, I mean, it was pretty sweet. All of us just being excited together, hard work being paid off, and it was very satisfying. Yeah,
That's awesome. I do know that cross country is a year-round sport.
we train all year round.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But yeah, falls in the cross is in the fall, and then track is in the spring.
Okay.
Yeah.
How much time do you how much time do you get to spend with your family? Like, have you gone back to Australia?
Nah, I haven't seen my family in like, I think it's coming up on 3 years now. Yeah,
Wow.
it's been a while.
Do they expect to come here possibly in the
Yeah, yeah,
future?
I hope so.
Okay.
I might like, yeah, hopefully this summer they can get over here. I'd really love that. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Mm.
I'm sure you get a little bit of homesick at times.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I definitely all the holidays every time, you want to
Yeah,
you want to be home, but also like this is where I want to be at the same time. Like
yeah,
this is just like it's just such an optimal place to get better.
yeah. How do you handle the homesickness like during the fall times or the holiday season? Like how do you manage that?
Just as I'm lucky enough to have, such great friends here,
Hmm.
and it's great to be able to call, like, yeah, they're only a phone call away, so I can call my friends and family. Obviously it's not the same as being there, but yeah, that seems to help, of course. Yeah.
What are your plans for after college? Like once you graduate, once you use this extra year that the NCA is granting, like what are your plans?
Just doing everything I can to get a professional contract is just what I'm working towards.
I was gonna ask because you said professional contracts. Typically for me, I don't necessarily know what happens. I know people get like Nike deals or whatever
Mm.
when it comes to track and things like that. But what is like the professional contract? Because like, I'm sure there are meets or invitationals that runners go to all the time to qualify for the Olympics or um, international contests or things like that. But what is the professional contracts like?
It's just as simple as you performing at a level that could get you like appearance fees and sponsorship deals. Like if you're at an international level where you're representing your country, or you're gonna be on a stage that is just um, it's televised, things like
Hmm.
that. That's probably when you'll be getting professional contracts. So yeah, in simple terms, you just need to run fast enough for agents to talk to you, and then the agents will talk to the coaches, or you
Yeah.
start talking to the coaches and see if a brand wants you to represent them.
What is the best piece of advice you could give someone wanting to run at a high level like you?
Definitely put yourself out there. The goal I had to come over to college was extremely motivating, and it drove me to do the things that I did in high school to get over here. And you need that first, but when you've done that, you need to put yourself out there. Like I wasn't just kind of waiting for things to come to me. I emailed as many coaches as I could, and yeah, that's probably my best advice. Is definitely just don't be afraid to put yourself out there.
I was gonna ask you, Sai, what is the best piece of advice that you could give to people watching or listening to this, young athletes wanting to play at a D1 level?
The best piece of advice I could give would be to find out what separates you from somebody else. And once you recognize that, start to grow and walk in that. I feel like for myself, the thing that separates me from somebody else, um, the competition, somebody who I'm playing against, or even, because we're talking about recruiting and coaches are always trying to bring in people that are better than you,
Mhm.
to better themselves and the team. I think the thing that separates me the most from everybody is my mind, my knowledge of the game, what I'm seeing when I'm out there on the field, how it slows down at certain times, what I'm able to tell somebody if you know the tackle does this and then the very next play he does something different, or this look that we've been seeing all week if they come out and they do something a little bit different. I just feel like that skill set or that mindset for me being the smartest guy. I feel like that's what separates me the most, and which allows me to continue to grow into the mental side of football. And so, yeah, I think my piece of advice would be for anybody who is in a position like myself, like find that one thing, that one niche that you're really good at, and that separates you, and like keep tapping into that and growing it, so that eventually, like people will see, people will see that okay, like LeBron might not be the best shooter, but shoot, he might be Mr. Clutch, like he's just
Mhm.
that guy. So, that's my piece of advice. What about you, Guy?
I would say doing the things when nobody's watching. I feel like that's important to
Mm-hmm.
be able to put in that work when nobody's watching, because I do believe that that will make you become great. Because I don't know, I feel like it takes a lot of work to become the best, and
Yeah,
just doing the small little things that
yeah,
nobody expects you to do
yeah,
is the best thing I could say for athletes out there. Just like, if you don't want to do the extra lap or whatever, do it, because
yeah.
that's going to make you great.
What happens in the dark will come to light.
There you
There you
go.
go. Look at that.
I think that's what Coach G says. So I'm just copying what he says. Mr. Field, it has been a pleasure speaking to you and getting to pick your mind, and having you on the podcast has been such an extreme pleasure. And I just want to thank you for coming on. And much continued success for throughout the rest of the fall and into the spring. I'll definitely be at the convention center, watching you run now during the races. So I appreciate you coming on, Skye.
Yes, thank you so much for coming on. We really appreciate it, especially because it was last second. So we appreciate you cooperating with us, and good luck the rest of the season with regionals and nationals. So, yeah.
No, thank you guys. It was lovely to be on here, and thank you very much. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Samuel Field, Mountain West Cross
Team conference
Team
champion. Yeah.
Conference champion.
There you go.
That's a tongue twister right there. Thank you, Champ, for joining. Thank you for listening to our audience. This has been the episode number 5 of the Skye and Skye podcast. We appreciate you guys coming out, and we have a very, very, very special guest coming next week. So stay tuned for that. Thank you, and
Yeah. Cheers, guys. Go Lobos.
go
Go
Lobos.
Lobos.